ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nyttel, and I'm doing a slightly different kind of stream than usual today. So, I thought of an idea that I'd want to do for a stream. That's basically, it boils down to reviewing the protagonists that we've played as in the various novels that I've read aloud on stream before. At least that is the plan. Alright, I might actually adjust this window slightly. Let's see here. If I pull down this slightly, then I pull down the monitor, like so. Yeah, that should be fine for what I want to do here. Maybe slightly lower. Perfect. Alright, so, actually that's slightly up so I can still see my bitrate. Anyway, so, I'm going to be sketching 5 people, and they are going to be the following categories. Let's see here. Just set this up as a text style do I want to use for this one. Oh, it's going to take a minute to load because Microsoft Paint can be a little jank sometimes when it comes to loading the text fonts. Let me show more fonts. Alright. Alright, so I am going to look for not that. Power. That's right. I'm going to go with power clear for the text here. Okay. Well, I'm not going to bold it. That will be the first one. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. This is the window that I am working with in terms of size. This, roughly. So, I'm going to divide this up into Season 1 and Season 2 games, sims I've played. So I'm going to move that there. Add a bigger text box above. Season 1. That encompassed 2 different dating sims. I'm not going to add like the weird subtitles that are afterwards, because, well, they're not entirely important to what I'm doing. But, alright, that's Season 1. I'll do that. Then, that's slightly to the right there, left there, I mean. Oh, the screen to the left, in your viewpoint, I'm showing more white space. And then we're going to start on Season 2. I conclude that Season 2 is going to be 3 games. Oh, 2 games and 1 actual novel. Put Season 2 right there. So I read aloud the book Flatland. That's one of the ones, and yes, I am going to draw the quote-unquote protagonist of that one. I'm also going to draw what I imagine the protagonist of Dual Date to look like. Only because there isn't an actual model of the protagonist in that one. And then there actually is a model for the protagonist in crystalline, so I'll draw that one as well. That one will hang to the right side of the screen. That I'll unveil more of later. But for now, let's go back to beginning, shall we? Roughly here. There. Now we're going to zoom in a bit on the screen here so I can kind of see what I'm doing in terms of the sketch. Alright, I've zoomed in 800 times. That's how I'm going to do my sketches, because what I'm going to sketch is basically going to be very small, like, sprite-like things for everything. Or let's see here. Alright, so I have on my second monitor, I am actually going to put that above. On my second monitor, I have 4 different windows open, tabs open, of things I'm going to sketch. So I'm going to hide that for now. And yeah, the first one we're going to sketch is going to be the protagonists of Ascot Academy, Hana Mizuno. I'm going to probably be basing it off of either this one here or this one. I haven't decided quite yet. I'm going to draw the hair first and see where it lies. So there's that. Anyway, so I'm going to draw the hair first. I'm also going to open up an image on this side of things on monitor 2. Alright. It's time. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a shape. Take out the image here. Or take out the thickness of it. I'm going to draw that there. I'm going to take this, crop that. Then I'm going to take the pencil, draw a couple of strands here. Alright, a little bit of it is going to go in the front. That might be good, roughly. It looks something akin to a hairline from a distance. Alright, there we go. We'll do that. Next thing we're going to do is draw. Alright, that looks like skin. We'll do that. I'll do that as the skin outline here of that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to draw another circle. Control Z. I'm going to draw it over this. Alright, gonna imagine this will be roughly where. No. I need to draw one more pixel over. Nope. Keep the shift held, Luke. That'll be fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there. Take the eraser. Make the eraser kind of smallish so I'm not deleting terribly much in the way of things. Then I've set to transparent, so that'll be fine. I'll drag this to about there. Drag that to here-ish. That should be fine. Drag this back up. And we're going to... I'm just going to fill in the hair color now. And use a couple of black lines to denote curvature of hair. Okay, do that. Okay, we'll do that. I'm going to slightly... I'll do that. That can remain white. Her chin is a little bit pointed, so I'm going to thin this a little and move the dots up a little bit. No. Now, if I do that, that'll be a hair more pointed. That should be fine. A pink hair, that bit there. Okay. Going to, no, wrong page. Open up this version. Alright. Her eyes are sort of Asgal blue colored. So I'm going to try to emulate that coloration in these eyes here. Alright, what do we got here? Just that. Myself, Heavy No More's here. That's cool. Alright, enough about that madness. Let's get on with this, shall we? That looks like the color that's in the art, so we'll use that color for her eye color. I'm actually going to set that as the off color. Black will be my main color here for the moment. I'm actually going to get a hair closer to my artwork here and draw that. Okay, so because this is small pixelies, I'm going to draw that, because if I don't do it the other way, copy paste. Nope. Okay, I have to make a bigger image of this. Copy, paste. It was a little too small for me to actually do it another way. So if I do that, bring the eyes up a hair. And her glasses are black squarish frames, so I'm going to try to emulate that as well. I'm not going to use the shape draw function for this one, purely because if I do, well, no. I need to drop her face down a hair longer. Make this work out the way I want to. I'm going to that. Like so. Drop her eyes a hair more so I can leave some whites of her eyes intact. Okay. Glasses time. Draw a distance away. One over. Nope. There's not really a good position for this, honestly. Alright. Pencil again. How about I just draw her glasses without the frame? Like that, maybe? Draw one more up. Then we... that. There. That should work. Now... come on. That part. Right. Right, her nose is going to be a little bit harder to do in this pixel style that I'm doing. Now, the reason I'm leaving so much open space down below is because I plan on adding other things down here for other sections during this review stream that I'm going to do eventually. But right now, it's just the cursory artwork that I plan on having in place for it. Anyway, zoom back in. Going to... First off, I'm just going to put in the skin paint now. Oop. We will... I'll use the black lines to denote nose is there. And she doesn't really have like lipstick or anything, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw like a black line for her mouth. I'm going to set the off color to be skin. There. Now I'm going to add one more detail that I've missed this whole time. She has a red bow in her hair, and it's going to stick out from the back slightly. So, alright, I'm going to mirror that pattern. Like so. Going to fill that in with red. Then I'm going to use black to kind of use a couple of folds in place. Fold and approximately there for the other fold. From distance looks fine. That should be fine. Alright. I will also try to draw something of a top half of a shirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a black line to separate the neck, I mean the head from the neck. Nope. Oop. Well, she has the uniform for Ascot Academy. There is a white shirt that is underneath of a yellow vest, and the yellow vest is underneath a Ascot blue jacket. And the women have a sort of, I'm not sure what it's called. It looks almost like an ascot sort of thing going on. So I'm going to try to draw the ascot first. It's going to be roughly the same color as her eyes. Her uniform is a hair darker. So I'm going to try to draw it so that she basically doesn't have a neck at this point. Actually, if I do that, or that up a bit, that out, take that out. I'll make a draw like that. And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a black line to indicate where her shirt is. Actually, I'm going to do more of a light gray line for this one, just so I can differentiate it from like her facial features and such. And from there, I'll start her jacket like around where the outside of those lines are at. Okay, so I'm going to fill this with the Escal blue, or I guess it's going to be more like a sky blue paint here. But I will take this gray to sort of indicate where the tie happens. There, there, and nope. See, there and there. I'll add a little bit of the ascot to this here. Starting at that point. But bringing it any closer is going to look like a big thing. But I also need to end in points that are not pointing towards the inside of each other. Okay, that'll be that for mascot. I'll add a couple that is tied to some extent or another. There. Actually, I'm going to leave that alone. I'll use this further down. Now I'm going to start her jacket on the outside of here with the slightly darker shade. For purposes of this, I'm going to differentiate her ascot color from her jacket color with this darker blue that I'm using. It's the default blue shade that comes with MS Paint. I could like modify colors, but I don't feel like it at the moment. Anyway, so does stick out a bit over her shoulders. So that it's kind of thin, so I'm going to not draw her too big. Hopefully. Do 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 do. I'm also gonna try to bulge her arms out a little bit, just so I can draw like the jacket itself a bit more. Or I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna end her line right about here-ish. At least, alright. I think that might be where my end goal is for this design. Just so I can draw a little bit of the golden vest in there at the same time, but also not draw too much. Because I plan adding more down below this point, whether it be words or other weird things I deem necessary. And that's going to be the case for all of these. Okay, now. So the photo of her jacket is kind of awkward. Begins roughly around here. Sticks out slightly, then goes down. I'm going to cut, copy rather, that, paste that, flip it horizontally, then do that-ish. I just have that dot there then in that case. I will then have to basically draw straight from here. Alright, now I'm going to draw her vest. Her model in the game doesn't really, she's not really stacked up top, so I'm not going to like draw anything horrendous there. I am going to draw this. So, I am actually going to fill that in now. I do, however, want to add a little bit of a layer of orange here to represent like the knitting that's on her vest. Okay, now I'm going to fill the rest of this in. So, I'm going to take the darker gray and kind of use that as like a dividing line between where I'm coloring things in. All this blue that I just drew here, I'm going to turn gray. You know what roughly what color is going to be. So I will then take this blue, take this paint bucket, dump it right there. And such, dump it right there too. Almost kind of looks like a hoodie, honestly. Alright, and that is my Hana Mizuno for the time being. Okay, I am also going to shift everything over to the right slightly. Like so. Okay, I'm also going to add a couple of text things to the side here to indicate various things. But for right now, I'm going to take this, this. Put that there. I'm going to take this, roughly make it square-ish in shape. Rotate it. Nope, wrong direction. There. Alright, I can shift everything a hair to the left, I suppose. Okay. Alright. I am actually going to take a paint bucket and turn this black line white. There. There's that. Now I'm going to start on the next one. Now, unlike Ascot Academy and Crystalline, these other three here don't really have artwork for a protagonist, so to speak. Flatland gives a description, and yeah. So I'm going to try using the Flatland description as the quote-unquote protag. Or I'm going to say the point of view of Flatland. I have a couple of guesses as to what I Love You Colonel Sanders looks like. Or the protagonist for that one looks like. The one that you quote-unquote play as. Or at least I have a take on it that I'm going to make. I do know that the school that's in that game is very similar to the one that's used in Ascot Academy, so that's going to be the basis for at least one thing in that design. Flatland, I know two things. I know that the main character is a 2D construct, and that there was at least one film adaptation that starred Martin Sheen in it. That'll be my information for that one. Duel date, I have a good fucking estimate for what that one's gonna look like at the end. Fucking doodle date. And then there's actually a protagonist design for Crystalline that I could probably reasonably attempt to sketch. So yeah, we'll do that. First, Colonel Sanders time. Alright, so I'm going to take the pencil here. So what I think I'm going to do for Colonel Sanders this time around is I am also going to use pink hair for this design. I am, however, going to go about it slightly differently. So firstly, we are still going to draw the head, or the hair head, rather. I'm going to draw it slightly bigger so I know what I'm doing with it. At least bigger compared to Anna down here. That's not what I want. I want it to be somewhat even. And that's something akin to even. Okay. I'm also going to draw two more littler circles. Fix that. But copy, paste. And I will add something to these and connect it to the design at some point. But for now, know that I'm going to encase these circles here in black, as it is going to be an important part of the design in a moment here. Okay, I will add those at some point. For now, use my reference here for this. Alright. Airline seems to shift in opposite direction. Hana. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm actually going to cut right about here for that design. Actually, I'm going to cut here for that design. Actually, if I do that, I'm just going to straight convert this into skin. Part of the design. Alright. We're going to see how long the face is approximately. Alright. Okay. What I'm going to do here is take this I've just done. Do extend it a hair. Do that. And I'm going to approximate this person's hairline to be almost straight, honestly. I'm going to differentiate it with a couple of brands here. I'll do that. This can simulate her ears. I take black, kind of. A little bit of a hairline here. Could be a hair cleaner than Anna's for plot reasons. And yeah, we'll dye that pink now. And I will pencil that little pixel. And now this is when I start to remove the fuckery. Fill, fill. Now, there. I'm going to be adding something to these little balls I've put here. It's going to be good. It's going to be very Colonel Sanders lover-esque sort of thing. I'm going to pull here. But actually, I think I'm going to do that now while we're fucking around here. I'll add that. There's a buffer, and this will be my offhand here. That. That. If I put that layer there, I can eventually thin this out. I messed up there slightly, so I'm going to do that first. That there, put that there. I'm going to take this orange bit here, use that as a sort of tie. For the next phase of this. Use that. Alright. If I add a hair more to this. There. put the dot there, and I will use the orange just that slightly. So it looks like there is a bit of a tie there, but you can also see where the hair ends. All right. Now, add that there, and yeah. I'm also going to add the scent of a chicken on this one. But before we do, we'll drag it down here further. And now the scent of chicken. That's black. Change the offset to get a close up on this image here. Alright, now we're cooking with gas. I'm gonna make her eyes pink for this one. One. Nope. Right, I have to offset that to white, so I don't actually make more pink than necessary. Alright, if I set that eye once more over, then pencil. I'll do that. This. Got one down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take paint, take the skin toner, and put that in. I'm going to use a pencil to make the whites of her eyes. I use pencil to make something akin to a nose. The nose of what I am looking at is... Alright, so her nose is going to be a little bit different. Start off around here-ish. I'm going to do that. Doop. Doop. There we go. That might be what we're doing here. Wild. Alright. Now we're cooking. With chicken here. Now, I could use the design that I'm looking at here, or I could be like, let's make a fucking cooking school uniform for Colonel Sanders, because that's what we're based off here right now. Also, approximately some space. So can use the drop you a little bit further down. All right. Open that in a new tab again. Take a closer look. All right. So we're going to exaggerate the features of this uniform a little bit. I'm going to use the light gray first. That'll be the shirt haver one. All right. All right. I'll start drawing standard from here. I want this to represent like a sort of like weird it's gonna be a combination of like what Hana has here and something closer to a napkin. Alright. With that said, I'm going to start with the darker lines now. There. There. That. See how I did that. She's gonna be I'm gonna draw her to be a little bit more buff than Hana, I think. So I'm gonna do this. I'll start the lines. This way that characters from the game that she's from works. Or at least what I'm designing the design off of here. Is that the shoulders tend to be a hair broader than the way they're designed in SKL Academy. I'm basing this off of a Fire Emblem character, so that is what the reference is here. Here is. Except I changed the pigtails of this character to chicken drumsticks. That's right, the drumsticks now. Anyway, how much of this do I want to draw? I'm going to temporarily take copy that, paste, and a side-by-side comparison to roughly dictate where I'm going to stop on this one. Route here-ish. So if I take that, delete the copy, original's still here. I'll stop drawing her torso from about here. So I'll stop it there in terms of her width. Now, equivalent of gas. See this. I am also going to delete that line. And this is where we'll roughly stop the torsoing here. I'll take that. So the uniform is white and black with some golden frills on it. I'm going to edit the golden frills. They're going to be a little bit more brown in color. What I'm going to do here, they're going to come off of this here. Just going to draw that there. Oop. I'll make that just solid. It'll be like a big button. That's there. And as for the frill, could dye that orange. Let's see here. I'm gonna make a beak. Flip this beak horizontally. Try to place it roughly where that is. Good draw counter thing. Alright. Place it dead nuts on. We're good. Alright. Next. I'll draw the next part of this brown. It has to be mostly white, the shirt. I'm just drawing the embroidery at this point. Cock-a-doodle-doo indeed. Press this. I'm gonna. I'll draw connecting to button. And then for kicks, I'm gonna draw a little feet coming off of this. Okay. I'm also going to draw a layer of black. This will be approximately where the black part of her uniform starts. Because, to give you a little spoiler alert, I somewhat based it on Hilda. Anyway, enough about that. Anna and theoretical protagonist from I Love You, Colonel Sanders. I'm gonna tone back on the fucking the chicken smell lines a bit here, and drag her down a bit further. Okay, we have Anna, and I'm just gonna name that one just Grilda. That's what her name's gonna be now, Grilda. I'll add a little signature for each one. That one will be Hana. This one is gonna be Grilda. Alright, signatures added. Hana and Grilda. Check. Now, Flatland is gonna be easy. Roughly. Maybe. It depends on how one defines easy. First, I'm going to draw a pentagon. Like so. The way that the characters depicted in the 2D land of Flatland are depicted is that faces tend to be either a vertice, or if it is a straight line, one end of it is the face, the other end of it is the tail. So for purposes of this, I am actually going to select this whole thing and flip it upside down. This will be the base, so to speak. So I'm going to label that as base vertice. Check. Alright, that's the face vertice here. This section. And now we're going to draw a little sketchel to be the quote unquote innards of character. Because the way that Flatland is designed is that characters, the characters in Flatland that are in the 2D realm can only see like a line, basically. Just a line like this, and the way they figure out whether they see other things or not is by shading to some extent, which could look something like this. They might see a sort of haze where lines will fade out after a while, like so, where this right here might be like the center, or where the vertex point of the vertice is, and it fades from there, sort of thing. So I'm going to delete that real quick. Now, I am going to sketch in black and white for this one, purely because they don't really have colors in 2D Flatland. They have them in 3D land, but not 2D land. So this one, I'm not going to like do shades of like human shades or anything like that. Instead, I'm gonna show you one with a sketch. Not that. Actually, I'm gonna look this up just so I can be accurate to how he looked in that movie. And it's I do not know if that is the actor in question in that particular point. Alright, I'm just going to draw him similar to this. So, I am first going to draw a shape. I am kind of going to make it like a rounded rectangle this time and not a circle. It's going to look like this. I'm going to modify it from there. And what I'm drawing here is going to be essentially just the entire body of the Flatland character and not just. Alright, so if I take this, that, 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 do that. Take this, erase, do, do this. Delete that, 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 that. I'm going to draw a line here for a reference. Okay, so if I take this part here, up one, that up, that, and then delete this. That, delete that, delete that. That's going to be the approximate head shape that I want to go for here. I'm also going to draw a little arrow here. And then Kate is going to be intestines. Or innards, rather. Alright. And apparently Martin Sheen was in the 2007 adaptation of the movie Flatland which is vaguely based on the book Flatland. So I'm going to draw. I've never seen that movie, and I don't think I ever am going to. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to put the signature just down below. I'm just going to name that character Martin Sheen, because I don't think they actually ever gave the name of the narrator of Flatland. All I know is they're a pentagon. They have children that are hexagons. And yeah, it's kind of fucked up. So I'm going to just sign this one off as Martin Sheen. Anyway, let's sign and draw a very terrible bust of Martin Sheen's face. That is the plan. I'll do that. Let's update that so it's pointing this way. Do 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 do. And like I said, it's gonna be black and white because Flatland doesn't have colors, so to speak. No, we'll draw the hairline first. Innards are also a very unstable thing. All right. I'll do that. For I. All right. Margie's face is not happy to be innards. All right. Quick sketches. So it's a lot bigger than everything else, but it's also an entire body, technically speaking. The Han signature's there, Grilda's signature's there, and fucking Martin Sheen is just here. Also, I'm gonna put this offset here. All right. Now, next. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna draw a Doodle Date protagonist yet, or if I'm gonna draw a Crystalline's protagonist. But let's see. I drew here. Okay. That. I was double checking to see if there are any people to bother with questions, but it's fine. Anyway, so I think next I'm gonna draw Doodle Date, just because we don't actually have a description of what Doodle Date person looks like ever. They just are a terrible person. So it's gonna be Guy, obviously, that we draw for Doodle. All right, pencil time. Obviously, this is not Lorb, because Lorb is a national treasure to be preserved in all accounts of things. I'm going to draw the jerk that was a dick to Lorb. First, I'm going to draw a head. And by head, I mean a skirkle, which I'm going to use this dark gray color for, just because in Doodle Date, the only pencil that you have access to is dark gray, because it's graphite. So, we're going to draw a bigger head than any of the women that we've had so far. I am also going to draw a second head, because that a second but smaller head, actually. I'm going to put that down below. Not below. I'll put it right here. What's going to happen is I'm actually going to give him a bit of a underbite. No, that's the cruel. Alright, we're just going to do this. Anyway, so, gonna draw this guy's hairline to look totally not M of the fucking French musician with M-shaped hair. I'm also going to remove that part of the equation. That looks too much like a beak. I don't want to insult Birdman Steve like that. Anyway, we color this hair gray. Because, you know, doodle. Give him a bit of a weird nose. A little dot there for some reason. I'll also fill that in. Hi, I'm Mr. Doodle Date, and I'm a dickhead. I'm not gonna write that here, but I'm gonna write something else about as insulting to Mr. Doodle Date as that. Hi, I'm Mr. Doodle Date, and I'm compensating for my poor social skills. That's right, Mr. Doodle Date. I'm compensating for my horrible attitude. Except he's gonna say two because he's that kind of person. Two. Do 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 do. Make these more sparkly. All right. Zoom out a hair so I can actually capture the essence of Doodle Date Dickhead here. All right. So I'm gonna make his signature DDD. He adds the extra D there because he thinks it's Doodle Date. But my actual interpretation of DDD is gonna be Doodle Date Dickhead. That's right. Right here on Stream Kids. And by kids, I mean you really should not be watching this madness. If you are under the age of 18, do not. Just turn away now. There we go. Now we're done with fucking Doodle Date. We're gonna get on to the fucking to the protagonist of a crystalline. This one is actually gonna be a thing for me to draw. Because yeah, crystalline. Alright. Now we're gonna get the pencil. I'm gonna get the brown. The pencil here and a brown color since the protagonist hair crystalline is brown. Alright. I'm not used to drawing the animu, so this is gonna be something. It draws a little bit bigger than the women's heads, only because I feel like that's probably gonna be the best bet for getting the hair accurate. Tab. Let me see if I can zoom that in a bit on this end, so I can see what it looks like, his eyes. Alright. Eye color is fucking weird, actually. There don't seem to be too many zoom ins on his eyes. So that is a thing. That said, I'm going to select, extend that a bit, and connect it with more brown. I'm also going to do a little bit of a thing here where I'm going to convert some part of this into skin now. Okay, I'm also going to draw this. To know that one of the hairs of the protag actually kind of sticks out between his eyes. So his eyes are going to be kind of between these strands here. Also sticks out like this. And it does kind of curve like so. So that's why I'm going to curve it like this as well. Something does stick out there. I'm just going to fill this part in with brown now. And I'll use black to kind of set up the hairline a bit here. Spots. That looks okay. What he says okay is I'm going to go for the stream. Alright, now, his eyes are brown in color. I am actually going to make them dark red, just so I can tell the difference between his brown and the skin and everything else. That, that, if I fill the skin in now, one, I fill the white in with skin as well, and I will redraw the eyes. Alright. There aren't It's hard to find close-ups of his face, other than if I were to right, do. Because for reference, what I am drawing right now is this, or at least this part of the face here. Maybe this part, maybe including the sword. I haven't decided yet. Something along those lines. Alright, his nose seems to be almost like a straight line. So that is what I'm going to do here for this one. I see bitrate has jumped quite a bit around the stream, but oddly enough, no disconnections yet. That's good. Anyway, what the fuck? What the hell? That is not right. Okay, that's proper now. That was fucking weird. For some reason, it was taking 2x2 pixels instead of the normal singular pixel. That was fucked up. Anyway, so nose, nose, nose. We'll do that kind of nose. He's also smiling, so I'm going to do a crack smile here. And I'm going to fill that part in with white. And then fix that. Shoop. Shoop. Alright. So, current review of things are as follows. So this encompasses both season 1 and season 2 of the Bill's Lost Book Club runs of my streams. And currently this encompasses 5 games, or 4 games in one actual book. My review of the characters so far is as follows. Anna, good fucking character. Relda, kind of a blank slate, but you can construct a personality out of that character, so good enough, I guess. Flatland, the protagonist is kind of like the Virgil of shapes, so there's that, I suppose. I would rate this one like a satire out of 5. Doodle Date, this character just fucking sucks. Fuck this guy in Doodle Date. Crystalline, so far, protagonist is pretty interesting. Or at least they're about as complex as Hana is in terms of how they develop, I feel. Anyway, enough about that. Anyway, so this guy has a red scarf. I'm going to draw that now. It is almost like obnoxiously red scarf. Draw from here. Shoulders are gonna be hair broad, so I don't want to like. I will stop the scarf about here-ish. It'll break into the shoulder pads that he has, which we're going to use a darker red for. I'll also mark them off here to indicate that's where the shoulder pads start. Like so. I'm also going to take the picture of Hana from earlier and use that as a cross-reference for where I should stop his drawing. Copy. And paste. So, okay, because I'm drawing him bigger, I will actually... What I'll do is I'm going to make him stop about here-ish, roughly. Or at least that's the goal. Yep. Alright, so I will cut the shoulders right about... And I'll delete this line. There. That. And that. Meanwhile, Scarf continues. I'm going to fill that in red now. And I'll use the dark gray, sort of simulate the curves of Scarf. It does flow behind him, technically, in that portrait, or that picture of him. And the tunic that he has under his shoulder pads and the scarf is brown. So I'm going to briefly, like, leather. So I'll put that down there as a little reference to the fact that that exists. Meanwhile, armor pads. To fill that in with the dark red, and I'm going to start putting in the black lines that are in it. That there is a something like that is in. There's another one about here. There are technically a lot more straps in this, but given how small I've made this portrait, I don't think I'll be able to add in any more. Technically, there are about 5 on each shoulder pad that I'm seeing in this picture here, roughly speaking. There's also like gauntlets that are they're pretty cool looking. The scarf actually has a little bit of tattering at the very end, but we don't see where that tattering is going to start in this picture. Anyway, crystalline. Nope. That. So the personality of a character from Crystalline is you're a student in the state of New York. You fell asleep and fucking you've been isekai'd into weird world. Anyway, but the thing is, like, your character seems to retain somehow personality at least. So it's not like a completely blank slate that you're drawing on. It's just there is a person there that's underneath it. You do kind of mold a little bit of the personality, but it's not like you're gonna mold your personality and then be like, oh, I forgot about this thing that I did 5 hours ago. Because that's not how that works. Anyway, but yeah, Crystalline does seem to be a bit more of a self-insert thing, rather, as opposed to like Hana from Ascal Academy. So I'm going to give this person, the default name that they have in Crystalline. Right. Add a bit more hairline here. There. We'll give this guy the name of. I'll sign it in blood red this time, or dark red, rather. I'll give him the first name that's default Pixel. As that seems to be like their default name in like those games of Pixel Fade, from what I've noticed in other things of theirs. Oh, and also I'm going to draw one more minor detail. I'm trying to plan around how to draw this part of it without looking too scuzzy. Actually, I think if I do that, that might be fine. Handle is going to be having a ring on it, actually. That's interesting. We'll do that. This is his sword, in case you're wondering what the fuck I'm drawing here. Unz that. There. And the sword is surprisingly thick. It is also in a bit of a golden yellow scabbard sort of thing, so I'll draw that as the outline above his shoulder here. And that is that. For sword. There. Perfection. We got our quick sketches done of characters from the 5 games, or the 4 games in actual book that I've done for Nils Lost Book Club so far. I'll be picking up the next part of Crystalline here, I'm going to aim for 7 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. So Pacific, that is like 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. PST. If you're in England, it's 12. It's midnight Greenwich Meridian time, GMT. All right, quick sketches are done here, and let's see. I think at this point I can actually just hide the monitor. All right. A lot of weird things in this area. I'm going to avoid just chatting now. All right. I'll leave monitor up actually. I'm going to open up uh, my dashboard on a different window. Or that window, yeah. That should be fine. That there. Way. And we're going to look for target. Target. All right. Do, do, do. All right. So I've got my raid place here. I will be back tomorrow morning. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to stream then. I do know that tomorrow night is going to be Crystalline again. Or actually Crystalline. So we're going to go visit Captain Rockcab today. He's currently playing through some of the Dark Souls. Fun times. Anyway, thank you for stopping by today. We hope to see you again. Y'all have a lovely and fantabulous day. This is what we have for the images. Like so. Right time. Now we on stream.